Sidharth Yadav, spokesperson of the BJP, Rajat Sethi, political analyst, Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, supports the Congress party. Dr. Akriti Bhatia, also a political analyst, doesn't support the BJP. Rajat, I want to come to you first on this to get an overview of this, because I'm not just getting a sense of deja vu, but I'm in a sense of disbelief. This is Mallikarjun Kharge. He's a shrewd politician for sure. He's not a fringe leader of the Congress party. He has seen how, attacking the Prime Minister personally, and especially on the whole Chaiwala aspect, has only and only damaged the Congress starting 12 years ago, as I have illustrated. Why would this happen, Rajat?
Good evening, Shiv. So I also am in a complete state of awe to understand that a person like Kharge, who himself has gone through a lot of hardships in his life, would mock somebody else's hardship. That is something which is unfathomable, till the point, I believe that some of the same set of advisors that advise Rahul Gandhi seem to now have another day job of advising Kharge also. Otherwise, I don't expect such a tall leader like Kharge making such statements. Again, maybe it is that Congress has run out of vocabulary, political vocabulary entirely. They don't have any other ways to attack Prime Minister Modi, which is again bizarre, because there are ways in which you can be a responsible opposition and attack on where you can actually corner the government. So it is like, as you said, it's a full toss. Why would you want to do that right before 2-3 months of very, very prestigious elections, where at least Congress has the remnant of the stakes left, politically speaking? So if you come in right now and do this, it just, I'm at my wit's end to understand, like, why would you do such a thing? And the more, we expect things to change, the more it is the same back old story. Like, it's a deja vu, as you said. It's 2014 redux right now in 2026.
Yeah.
Why has the political vocabulary of the Congress not evolved at all? It just shows that they are really not on the ground. They still believe that they can latch on to age-old narratives and can still build some kind of a momentum. And this is what I feel. This is the reason why even the Congress's own workers don't feel enthused to go on the ground, because their top leadership always makes these absolutely irrational statements. Then what are these workers supposed to do on the ground and fight it out on the street? What tools, what words do they have? What messages do they have from the top? Go out and slog on the streets. Nothing. And this is where I believe, even by the way, last point here, you made this statement, the entire premise of actually going onto the stage and making a momentum on Manrega and all of that goes for a toss. Because the narrative has now been shifted. Now nobody's talking about Manrega being removed or changed. People
and the point I want to make, Tehseen, Mallikarjun Kharge is not some motor mouth. He's not some irresponsible guy who says controversial things and throws full tosses to the BJP. Why would he do this? The Manrega issue is a legitimate substantive issue on which the Congress party can easily put pressure on the government. And here he goes and says Chaiwala. Why would he do this, Tehseen?
Good evening, Shiv. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good evening to all my fellow panelists and to all your viewers. So there are two ways I look at it, and I do agree with you that as so far as Manrega versus VBG Ramji scheme is concerned, there are legitimate concerns that the opposition has. It must raise, particularly with the states being burdened with 40% of it. The 150 guarantee, though, now being told, how do you fulfill it? Because in the 100 days guarantee, you couldn't give 100 days of work. And then demand, not demand-based work, but allocated based on if there is a requirement for work. Therefore, you lose that social security. I think these are fantastic points to make, and these should be well-read, understood and articulated to your people. So you should also know the full form, etc., of what you're opposing.
So then why Chaiwala then?
The problem, I think, and I do agree with it, is because our politics is so polarized and there is no bridge in between and both sides are hitting each other, I think where the Congress misses the woods for the trees is it benefits the BJP when it attacks the Congress, but personal attacks, particularly on the Prime Minister, does not yield dividends for the Congress. I've always said this. It does not matter to us what the Prime Minister did in his past, what anybody else did in the past. We've all got our struggles. Rahul Gandhi certainly had his struggles. He lost his father early on, his grandmother. We all have our struggles, our own demons. What we must attack on is policy and how we have a different narrative. This doesn't work for the Congress. If
This
you
not
didn't learn
only-
it in 2014 with Mani Shankar Aiyar, you didn't learn it in 15, you didn't learn it now, you're never going to learn it. You didn't learn it in Bihar, you won't learn it. You got to stop doing it. As
No, but how long does it? I want, because this is actually a scientific inquiry. How long does it take to learn a basic lesson of this kind? Because, like Rajat said, not only are you disenchanting your karyakartas, but you're also sending out a message to the electorate that what you have against Modi is personal, it's bitter, it's juvenile, it's frustrated. You know, you're not taking him on substantively. You can't resist these personal barbs, even so far as attacking his antecedents when it is well known that he had humble origins. Sidharth, you want to come in? Akriti, I'll come to you finally. Sidharth. Because as we speak, Sidharth, just before you begin,
I wish to
as
make a
we
couple of
speak,
points.
a tsunami of reactions has begun from the BJP, by the way, as Rajat has predicted. Full toss. The reactions have started coming in from the BJP saying, you have demeaned the OBC community by questioning his antecedents. Sidharth.
No, Shiv, I have a couple of points to make in this. Point number one is that if you compare to what Mallikarjun Kharge has said today to what he has said earlier, or the kind of venom that the Congress party and their leaders spread all across against Prime Minister Modi, I think this is very small, because Mallikarjun Kharge in 2022 had said, called the Prime Minister Ravan. We had seen that the Prime Minister was called Hitler ki maut marega. We have seen the Prime Minister was called Maut ka Saudagar. We had seen n number of things for the Prime Minister, for his mother and everybody. But why, and I asked, and I appreciate this question being asked today, that why after 2014, the Chaiwala jibe is back again. And let me tell your viewers why it is back. Because it is one has to understand the mindset behind when such a leader of such a party, Mallikarjun Kharge is the national president of Congress party. We must not forget that. And such a leader of such a tall stature calls the Prime Minister a Chaiwala. I think it just comes out of the frustration that the Congress party and their leaders have. And they can't digest the fact in 11 years or 110 years. They won't be able to digest that how can somebody from such a humble background make it to the top office in this country. They can't digest that how Prime Minister Modi is the longest serving non-Congress Prime Minister in this country. They can't digest that how he is the longest serving PM coming from a non-Hindi speaking state.
I am unable to understand I am unable to understand what Mallikarjun Kharge is trying to achieve with this. Akriti, can you throw some light? Because I am genuinely clueless. This is a non-rhetorical question. I can understand political.
Allow me 20 seconds to complete my point.
Complete.
I was interrupted while you were asking something. Allow me 20 seconds and I'll wind up what I'm saying.
Okay.
Can I proceed?
Yes, please.
Shiv, the only point that I'm trying to make is the Congress party and their leaders are down in frustration. They can't digest somebody coming from such a humble background, coming from OBC community, coming from a poor background, coming from a humble background, somebody who has struggled his life and reached the top office. This is the elitist mindset. Let's not forget and let's not be mistaken. Or probably, Mallikarjun Kharge is making the same mistake again. Or probably he's not learning from his mistakes. He is learned. The Congress party knows. The Congress party knows that if you abuse Prime Minister Modi, the people of the country are going to give you a befitting reply. Despite that, the frustration against the poor and the OBC is that high in their hearts that they can't resist. This is the reality.
Okay.
They can't hold back abusing Prime Minister Modi because they know that we can't digest that someone from such a background has taken to the top.
Akriti, it is already, the leader of the Congress party has already given the BJP an opportunity to make this about the elitist mindset versus the OBC. For no reason.
So, first of all, I personally feel that the political discourse must be about constructive political issues and policies. But what I fail to understand is that why is the outrage so selective? Haven't we seen our own honorable Prime Minister making jibes and rhetorical statements, accusatory comments time and again?
No, but selective from whose side? From our side. We have done shows on those.
Namdar and everything. There are so many examples and pointing towards marginalized communities, kapdon se pehchan lenge, and there are so many such things which are very problematic. So let's first weigh situations equally and do not corner one person against the other. About the statement it was not really, according to me, why this particular example has been taken up is probably because, again, if I personally have worked with street vendors in a very big way, and the number of evictions of the so-called pakode walas and chaiwalas is huge and the maximum under the BJP regime. If you look at inequalities and when Rahul Gandhi raises the question of OBCs and caste census, he becomes casteist. So what I fail to understand is why there's so much of selectivism. Why is it that when the ruling party or the prime minister says or does something becomes totally legitimate, and it becomes such a shocker when the similar kinds of politics
Just to be
emerge
clear,
from the opposition party, although I
Akriti,
firmly
just to be
believe
clear,
that
I don't want to interrupt
the
anyone,
discourse
but
should
just to be clear,
on real issues, and there are a number of real issues which show how OBCs, marginalized communities, workers, and a large section of our society is really,
Rajat, I'm bringing you in. Rajat, I'm bringing you in, but I just wanted to clarify that every time a controversial comment has been made by a leader of any party, including by the Prime Minister, it's been a headline here. There is no question of being selective. Certainly, we are not selective. I don't know who you're referring to, but Rajat, you want to answer?
So I wish, more individuals like Akriti ji are there in Congress which can at least intellectualize an argument. Right now, instead of being brazen about the way he has the kind of statement that Kharge had made, again, the problem is, look at the follow-up that the Congress Twitter handle did. The expose that they created an AI video of Prime Minister with a kettle, with a tea kettle,
We'll put it on our screen.
Around various national flags. Now, how on earth is this tasteful by any stretch of imagination? This is gutter level politics. Absolute gutter level politics. Is this what is expected? I mean, do your politics, by all means do it. But do not go down to a level where people feel that, I'm running out of words. I mean, the kind of disgust for this party. Who are you even run with? I'm telling you, if genuine people were behind, a responsible opposition party, they would have never come about with such crazy, insane AI mock-ups that they are doing. It boils my blood, and it should boil every Indian's blood, every nationalist's blood.
No, it does. It does. And the reason why it does is because we all believe that there needs to be a strong opposition. The metaphor of this being a full toss to the BJP is obvious. Tehseen wanted to answer. Tehseen?
So there are, again, two aspects to it. I do agree with what Akriti said, that the attacks happen from both sides. That's what I also said in my opening remark. But one, the BJP wins in those attacks. They get the advantage. But more importantly, if you look at the Prime Minister, and I'm speaking purely as a political animal out here.
Yeah.
When you look at the Prime Minister, it's not that he hasn't made those attacks, but when it's paid him badly, he's learned. Case in point, West Bengal. Last elections, he was doing Didi or Didi. He's not doing that now. He's got a political mind. You can't be making those same mistakes again. That's costing the Congress. What more importantly happens, it takes away focus from what you actually want to convey.
Exactly.
The BJP actually would like the discussion to be around Chaiwala so that the discussion is not around Manrega. The BJP would actually like the discussion to be a personal attack so that the discussion isn't around pollution. It's the BJP that escapes responsibility. So our job is to get the BJP on the mat. That's my job, and to make them answer and be answerable on NDTV. That's one. Number two, I think there's one more thing that I would just like to put out. At the end of the day, I think the Congress also must look at how long can it be stuck in an echo chamber. It is the same echo chamber that keeps cheering, but that echo chamber is not enough for the Congress to win the election. Because to win the election, it has to go beyond that 18% vote bank to a substantive 33, 34, 35%. Now, a lot of fence-sitters, normal people may vote BJP for various reasons. Maybe they like Prime Minister Modi, they like the economy, they like whatever. You need to bring them onto your side. They may have voted Congress in 2009. Now, the way to get them is by being respectful and raising their issues. For example, Noida, we're paying taxes, 30% tax, 18% GST, car tax, toll tax, etc. And you have the authorities telling us maybe this guy partied. So, if he partied, is that an excuse that he was not rescued and he died? That is where you get the government on the mat.
No, but you're right. Tehseen, you're right. Siddharth, you can come in on this because, see, ultimately, I am not even pretending that we live in a morality play, our politics. It's ultimately about political prudence. Nobody here is sitting and saying that you should not say this because it is morally wrong. It's because you're damaging your own party and you're distancing yourself from a possible election victory and handing the BJP a full toss, Sidharth?
No, Shiv, I have, I would beg to differ from what.
The BJP will differ, but I am just saying the facts.
You wish to discuss, the point that I'm trying to make is, please, bear with me for 30 seconds. You wish to discuss G Ramji? You wish to discuss any other core issue? Please go ahead. Please discuss. Nobody is putting words in your mouth and making you abuse Prime Minister Modi. The difference is that the Congress party has nothing to speak on the core issues. Please try and understand that. The Congress party has nothing to do, nothing to say. The kind of era that we were living in before 2014, the kind of scams that the Congress party was indulged in, the state of economy that we had, the case is not the same. Today, India's economy is booming. We are a fastest growing economy. The EU chief today is saying that, India is one of the destinations of a dynamic, fastest growing economy. Rahul Gandhi is selective about that. He doesn't want to see that. But he would quote a global bully coming out and saying India is a dead economy. That's the problem. You hate India. You hate India's progress. You hate Prime Minister Modi. Had you, choosing to be indulged in constructive discussions, nobody would have stopped you. You were saying, now you have a problem. Why are we having this discussion? And let me just give you one example, 10 seconds. 1 month back, the Congress party, in a nationwide campaign that they were doing, they called out slogans saying, Modi teri kabar khudegi, aaj nahi to kal khudegi. What selective are we? Have we seen this kind of slogans for any other leader? Have we seen such slogans from any other political party? Nowhere.
Tehseen, because you raised your finger 15 seconds, then I want to play a very explosive soundbite because someone mentioned echo chambers here. Tehseen, quick reply, then I want to play a soundbite.
Nobody hates India. We all bleed and heart beats for India. A young techie just lost his life because the goddamn administration couldn't rescue him. In India, which is the 4th largest economy in the world and booming, you don't have value for life. And when we attack you tell us that we don't like India. We are tired of you telling us how much we like India. No, while your kids are studying abroad, the best schools, your kids are not in riots. We are tired of you dividing India.
Go to abroad and abuse India.
We love India a lot more than you love India. And you will have to be answerable to us.
I'm sorry. Actions speak louder than words, sir.
A techie lost his life. And your administration couldn't rescue him. Sure, I'm proud we are the 4th largest economy in the world. Please rescue lives. Kids are getting asthma. We have a cancer pandemic in North India.
Very sorry.
You are answerable to us. And that does not mean we don't love India. We love India, hence we question you.
Would want to bring in any issue to divert from...
How is this diverting from the issue?
I'm sorry.
You telling us we don't love India is diverting from the issue.
Politicize, or you would want to hide behind an issue which is so sensitive and sad, just to save your
entire Noida administration.
I'm sorry, you should not be doing
as a young 20,
Answer
a young
question that I've asked
lost his life drowning in 2026 India. I am not hiding behind issues, and I will not be called unpatriotic on your show. I stand for India, and I don't want somebody to lose his
you are
life.
Nothing more than a political vulture if you are trying to use this.
How am I a political vulture when your administration couldn't save life? I would ask the same question of Rahul Gandhi. I would ask the same question of any government because it's my duty to ask it. I am a citizen and I am in opposition. It's my duty to hold you accountable. And I am not unpatriotic. I am patriotic, hence I am holding you accountable.
Okay. Let's all calm down. This is an emotive issue. Okay,
yes, abuse me, abuse my party.
How did I abuse?
The Prime Minister, and that's how you hold them accountable.
You only want to run behind. You only want to run behind words. You don't want to run behind action.
Gentlemen, let me come in.
That's the accountability that the Congress Party wants.
What is the accountability to that techies family? Tell me the accountability.
Rajat, okay. I wanted to play a soundbite, but it looks like we need to stick to this.
You've been in this country. You have ruled this country for 55 years.
So somebody will lose his life because I ruled the country for 55 years.
About how
what kind of an answer is this?
Have to be taught to the Congress Party. You don't call somebody a Chaiwala. You don't call them a moth.
And I think that is wrong. But you cannot run behind that and run away from answers.
You don't call out for slogans ki teri kabar khudegi.
I think it's wrong. But that does not give you the reason to run away from a discussion.
Okay, nobody's running away from any discussion.
You want to discuss on more issues?
Disliking the Prime Minister and disliking the country, this is really a fallacious argument. This is absolutely not acceptable. And the way you guys say anti-national to people, I think it's so problematic. It's not an authoritarian regime, for God's sake. If it is, then you say such things.
Okay.
Yes.
Rajat wants to come in.
It's a
Rajat.
really problematic thing
By any
to
stretch of
celebrate your
imagination.
economy when millions of people are actually going below the hunger index, and the inequality levels are rising. There are real things that you have to work towards.
No,
Job
but that's
creation,
but that is the
manufacturing sector,
but that is the point,
foreign
Akriti.
investment, everything is
That is-
falling behind.
Let
There are
Rajat answer.
80
Rajat
million
wants to answer
people
you.
going back
But
to
Akriti ji,
agriculture
that is-
because they're not getting enough urban secure jobs, and agriculture
I
obviously
agree, Akriti ji. I am fully with you on this. The problem is,
and these are Indian statistics. I'm not
Akriti,
putting
let
either
Rajat
for
answer.
anything.
Rajat
Akriti
wants
ji,
to answer
I
you.
agree with you. And this is where my problem is. If you want to pick up a Manrega issue, how bad can the Congress party be on optics? Here, Rahul Gandhi is in such a sanitized five-star setting, having these fancy dress sort of a competition. He could have gone on to the actual fields, met few people, understand and explain the point. I mean, what kind of a fancy dress competition is he trying to engage himself here? See, this is where, I mean, you are trying to don a Burberry sweater out there and try to go out and be a representative voice of people who are suffering. That doesn't cut the ice. This is the problem. You are so detached from the reality, and you don't even realize that the kind of body language that you carry, the kind of sanitized environment that is around you, does not fit the agenda that you want to pursue going forward. And on top of that, on top of this,
It
instead
is
of
Rahul
having an
Gandhi
AI which could have
himself who's
spoken about
been
Manrega
narrating
issue, you have an
voices
AI video,
of
and
platform
the
workers,
person who
of
created, you
police,
said, what is the definition
of
of anti-national?
carpenters, of all marginalized workers.
Anybody who can create such an AI mock-up of a prime minister having a tea kettle is deeply racist, elitist, casteist, and an anti-national by the very
But the
definition.
Congress only has itself to blame when it does stuff like this, is my submission on this. Okay, I'm going to put a hard stop to this particular topic because we've just gotten a big soundbite from Davos from Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Chief Minister of Assam, who's just spoken to our Editor-in-Chief, Rahul Kanwal. And I've just picked out one bit for you because that is also something that is likely to trigger a political fight. And I did want to get my distinguished guest today to react on that. Let's just quickly play that out.
इस इलेक्शन की एक इंटरेस्टिंग बात यह है कि गांधी फैमिली का कोई मेंबर पहली दफा इलेक्शन कमेटी को हेड कर रहा है। प्रियंका गांधी आ रही हैं, उससे लग रहा है कि वहां पे डबल इंजन बन गया है गौरव और प्रियंका का।
दुनिया का जो सबसे फ्लॉप फैमिली है वही गांधी फैमिली है। तो कोई ये फैमिली बड़ा फैमिली है क्या? उनका क्या सक्सेस क्या है? आप जैसे एम्फेसिस किया गांधी फैमिली आ रहे हैं, नहीं आप शर्मा फैमिली का बात करो। मेरा तो लगता है मेरा फैमिली इज बेटर देन देम।
वो कैसे?
किस लिए? हम लोग स्ट्रगल करके बड़ा हुआ हूं। वो तो
नहीं, पर आपने मेरे सवाल को डॉज कर दिया। मैं कह रहा हूं
डॉज नहीं किया, मैं बोला कि
इलेक्शन कमेटी
मैं बोला
हाउ डू यू सी दैट?
मैं इतना ही आपको बोलता हूं कि एक अगर फ्लॉप आते हैं व्हिच इज अ कंप्लीटली अ फैमिली बाय ऑल स्टैंडर्ड इज नॉट कंसिडर्ड टू बी अ सक्सेसफुल फैमिली। कोई आपका स्टेट में आते हैं, कैंपेन करते हैं, उसको आप कॉग्नाइजेंस भी लेना नहीं चाहिए।
नहीं, क्योंकि वो तो केरला की एमपी हैं और आ रही हैं आसाम में।
मेरा लगता है राहुल डजंट वांट हर इन केरला।
कैसे भाई?
वो मतलब आई स्टेड इन कांग्रेस फॉर 22 years, so I have also certain kind of inner information. I think Rahul do not want to disturb KC Benugopal and his axis, and Priyanka is an outsider to that axis, so that is why she has been transferred to Assam.
Okay, Himanta is certainly no friend of the High Command of the Congress. I can see Rajat already smiling. But Tehseen, first to you. Keep your answers brief. He's basically saying Rahul is trying to keep Priyanka out of Kerala. That's why he's called her Assam. What's going on? Tehseen? Is this just Himanta being Himanta, or is there something real here?
There's something real. He's extremely scared because Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is going to lead the campaign in Assam. Except for UP where she didn't have resources. Himachal, where she led the campaign, and Karnataka, she made sure the Congress came to government. Her speeches have been getting traction. She's got chemistry. I don't know if that will translate. It's too soon to say, I'll be fair.
Okay.
But I think he's scared that she's in Assam.
Rajat?
I mean,
who knows Himanta very well?
Not be scared. Will not be scared with parachute leaders dropping in and trying to take charge at the very last minute. It doesn't work. Politics doesn't work like this. I mean, whatever is said and done, Congress has its own cadre base, which is going to fight it out on the streets. These top leaders who come in as parachute leaders, they don't matter much.
Sidharth? Even Sidharth had a smile on his face over what Himanta said. You know, anything that Himanta says makes headlines, especially when it, pertains to the Gandhis. Sidharth, what's going on? He says Rahul Gandhi wants to keep the coterie in Kerala safe, and that's why Priyanka Gandhi has been given the charge of Assam.
No, Shiv, I was in fact smiling on what Tehseen was saying. I think if somebody is scared, that would be Rahul Gandhi, because the Congress party has lost more than 90 elections under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi. And by the argument that Tehseen was making, he's trying to project that Priyanka would have a better strike rate than Rahul Gandhi. So I think the scare part is inside the Congress party itself. But I totally agree with what Himanta Biswa Sarma ji is saying. We have to come out of this mindset also. I think that's what is more important. All the kind of the Gandhi family, the aura of that Gandhi family, or the Congress party's Gandhi family. People who work hard, people who work in a democracy, people who work for the people are rewarded by the people. We have long, left behind that era wherein we were ruled by the families and we were ruled by the such mindsets. We are a democratic country today.
Okay.
The people, the kind of political leaders who can resonate what the people feel, only they are going to be rewarded in a democracy.
This is also, of course, all, given that Himanta has a very fractious history with the Gandhis. But Akriti, what did you think of what Himanta has said?
The same thing I said before, that when he says biggest flop family, that doesn't sound offensive to people. That doesn't sound like a personal attack. So that is one. And second, about this fake rivalry that is projected between Rahul and Priyanka is something that I also know from sources and otherwise, that they are going to display very minute and good teamwork more than any kind of a rivalrous relation. So that's again to divert issues. It's better to again pick up issues about your own strategy and issues in Assam elections and Kerala elections rather than looking at the family dynamics.
Okay.
It will be better to hear about BJP's strategy and of course how the elections would.
Rajat, you want to quickly add to that? Any brother-sister dynamics? Is this Himanta's wishful thinking, or is there really something there? And Tehseen, I'll end with you.
This is not about a family affair as Akriti is trying to make out here. These two individuals happen to be in public life. So every aspect of this relationship, good or bad, is going to be dissected in public life to be hilt. So I think this is what Himanta is doing here.
It's a flawed family. He actually mentioned the word family.
It's not about family, Akriti ji. These two are individuals, and I don't see only as a brother-sister relationship. There is a lot of friction. There are a lot of lobbies within the Congress party, and it's amply reported by responsible journalists all throughout over the last few years.
Okay, last 45 seconds with Tehseen.
From Nehruji to Sardar, from Nehruji.
Because he knows them best. Among all of us, Tehseen knows the Gandhis best. Yes, Tehseen.
From Nehruji and Sardar Patel, the fiction that the BJP and RSS spread, to today about a brother-sister, I think this is not good. I think the reason the Honorable Chief Minister is doing it is because he wants to hide his in-governance or not lack of governance in Assam, and he knows that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra leading the campaign, he's going to be in a little bit of a trouble.
Okay, he's kept it very brief. Tehseen, I gave you 45 seconds. You said what you had to say in 20 seconds. Fair enough. Thank you very much. I'll have more for my next debate. Always a pleasure to have you, Sidharth, Rajat, Akriti and Tehseen. Your time is very valuable to us here on India Matters and on NDTV. Thank you. See you again soon. Political season has begun. So you'll be back on the show and back on the network very, very soon. Thank you very much for your time tonight.